Chapter 7. Cam looked on the bed. Then she whispered to Eric, "It looks real sloppy, don't you think?" "Look under the sheet," Eric whispered. A small part of a flat gray can was uncovered. "I'll bet that's the film." Cam's mother and Angela Kane were standing in front of the Shoe Escape poster. Mrs. Jansen said, "My husband and I saw this movie just a few days before we were married. It's one of his favorites. It's a pity Shoe Escape isn't shown more often." "I wasn't very good in that one," Angela Kane said softly. "Yes, you were. It's such a good movie, and you were wonderful in it. We were just at the Hamilton movie theater. We went to see Shoe Escape, but something happened to the film." Cam pulled on the sleeve of her mother's coat. She wanted to tell her about the flat gray can, but her mother kept talking to Angela Kane. "I hope you don't mind if I sit down," Cam's mother said as she sat right next to the gray can. Angela Kane quickly pulled at the bedsheets until the can was completely hidden. "Is that the missing film?" Cam's mother asked. Angela Kane nodded. "Why did you take it?" Angela Kane began to cry. She took a tissue from her pocket and wiped her eyes. Cam and Eric looked at each other. Then they looked down at the floor. It seemed wrong to watch an adult cry. "I was going to be a real star," Angela Kane said. "But that movie ruined me. That was the last acting job I had. I didn't intend to steal the film today. I just wanted to watch it. But when I got to the theater, something happened to me. I didn't want to see that movie, and I didn't want anyone else to see it." Cam's mother took the film from under the sheet and said, "You know you'll have to return this." "And just because you didn't get any more acting jobs doesn't mean that you weren't good in Shoe Escape," Cam said. "Maybe the movie people didn't know where to reach you. Or maybe they just didn't have the right parts for you," Eric said. Angela Kane went back to the theater with Mrs. Jansen, Cam, and Eric. In the car, she told them about her first movie role. "The director told me to look frightened, but I just couldn't. Then he took a toy mouse from his pocket. I was so scared. I was shaking. 'That's it,' the director yelled. 'Don't lose that look.'" When they entered the theater, the police were in the lobby with the theater manager and Mr. Bender. They were arguing with Mr. Bender. Cam ran up to the theater manager. "Here's the film," she said as she gave him the gray metal can. "Mr. Bender didn't take it." Angela Kane told the theater manager what she had done, and she told him why. Mrs. Jansen told him how Cam used her amazing memory to find Angela Kane and that Eric had noticed the missing film. Mr. Bender took off his coat. "You owe me an apology," he said to the theater manager. "And you owe me my money back. I paid to see 2 movies, and I didn't see either of them." "We'll have to take you to the police station," one of the officers said to Angela Kane. Cam, Eric, and the others watched as the police led Angela Kane out of the theater. The theater manager took some money from his pocket and gave it to Mr. Bender. As Mr. Bender counted the money, he told Cam's mother, "You know, at my theater you get to see a triple feature. 3 great movies for the price of 1. The theater manager smiled when he heard Mr. Bender talk about his triple feature. Then the theater manager said, "Now, why don't you all go inside and watch Shoe Escape? It's a great movie." The theater manager ran up the stairs to the projection room. Cam and the others went into the theater. The Monster Spiders was just ending. A parade of normal-sized spiders was crawling out of an open box. On the side of the box was a changing list of the names of the director and the stars of the movie. "You missed a good movie," Cam's father said. "Where were you?" "Jennifer found the missing film," Cam's mother said. "Now we could see the next part of Shoe Escape." People were beginning to leave the theater when the theater manager called to them from the stage, "Please don't leave. We'll be showing the rest of Shoe Escape in just a few minutes. But before it starts, I'd like to thank Jennifer Jansen, her mother, and Eric Shelton for helping us bring you this wonderful movie. And just a short while ago, I made a terrible mistake. I'd like to apologize for that mistake to Mr. Dennis Bender of Bender's Bargain Theater." The theater manager smiled and said, "It's the only theater in town with a triple feature. 3 great movies for the price of 1. People returned to their seats. The lights dimmed. Then the screen lit up with a picture of hundreds of shoes crowded inside an elevator car.